4 targeting options that you can use for Facebook ads. All right, so here you can see one of my e-commerce brands that I am slowly scaling. It is an Australian brand and I'm building another brand. And this is all just using these targeting options that I'll be teaching you today, right? I'll be sharing a Google Doc. All you have to do is comment the word market down below and I'll share that with you. Be sure to subscribe and like today's video. Let's get into the content. All right, so here is the Google Doc and we're just going to go through this and then we'll go into the Ads Manager and talk more about it. So step 1 is interest-based targeting, right? So there are 4 main types of interest targeting: brand-based interest, keyword, you can use activity-based interest, and profession-based interest as well. I just want to add those there just so that you have them as reference, like women's clothing, activity is gym, CrossFit, tennis, hobbies, nurses, engineers. You can even add, when someone's birthday is coming up. But they're more expensive and they don't work really well. I find what works well is just brand-based interest. As a little tip, the best interests, all you do is use something like ChatGPT, type it in. So if you're in the cat niche, type in top 10 cat niches in your target country that you're trying to market to. Boom, there you go. And put them in Facebook. Not all of them will be there, but most of them are. If they're the top 10, they've got huge audiences most likely. And pretty much that's all you really need to do. People that are interested in brands that are already interested in that Facebook has data on, if you're targeting those people with a similar product, it's pretty likely it's going to work, right? So interest-based targeting is very straightforward. I'll show you that in the Ads Manager in a moment, and I'll also open up ChatGPT as we do a bit of a test on this as well. All right, so I've just opened up ChatGPT, and I actually just use this GPT. It's free, Better Ads Infinite Interests Generator. The reason is it's just one that's generated for interest, so it's 100% free. And it's really, really good, right? Because what I did was I typed in find top 10 for this space. It came up with these, and I'm like, well, I want to be more specific that are Facebook interests. And all of these came up. So when I go into the Ads Manager and I put these in, I would expect that I can see these as interest, right? And there you go. You've just got your interest targeting done. If I also want to do it, top 10 famous people that have cats that are Facebook interests, right? Taylor Swift, I had no idea. There you go. It's a perfect one, right? Owns multiple famous cats: Meredith, Olivia, and anyone that's a Taylor Swift fan, let me know if that's true, but I'm assuming it is. And so there you go. You've got your interests done. And then you just go, when you're in your detailed targeting, put those in. Famous people plus, if they love a pet, people, they adore their pets as well, and they adore the famous person. They want to be like them, don't they? They're role models. So there you go. So that's really easy interest targeting. You can just use this free GPT. As I said, I just use that for this, just for inspiration. I didn't know, Kasha, Martha Stewart. There you go. So just gives you a lot of inspiration, saves you a lot of time, and just using that. There we go. All right, so I'm just in my Ad Manager now, and if I want to put in this, I've turned off the full just Advantage Plus, and we'll get to that in a moment. So just for the sake of this, who did we see? We saw Taylor Swift. I'm sure she's here, right? It would be impossible that she's not one of the most famous people. Yeah, look, there we go. Taylor Swift. And straight away, and I saw her as well, Purina. There we go. Massive brand. And again, you just do one interest, and there you go. It's broad, and we've pretty much now, if we have a look at the estimate, obviously that's for Australia. But if I change it to United States, because we're always focused on United States. It's a massive, fantastic audience, right? So that's pretty much all you need to do, just using a bit of ChatGPT, that custom GPT, you now have your interest targeting. And honestly, I might actually do this as a test. One moment. I went to it and said, all right, I want to include age, gender, location too. So you can even see down to the state, right? So you can see 25, 34. Do you see how I always say 25, 34 is sort of the gold one? Most of them is 25, 34. So if you're also wanting to find that the golden audience is 25, 34, and you can see as well, this one, 18 to 34, I would do, because again, we see it's 75% female. Right? We can even see California, New York, which actually, when you run ads, you will see a lot of people from New York buy, because New York has a higher GDP, and so it's a fantastic one, right? So, and owns 3 famous cats. She's interested in that, and you can even do this for all brands, right? And then it's interesting, right? You look at Martha Stewart, right? Older person. There you go. So it helps you actually with your targeting, right? 45, 64, right? Literally, that's what I mean by how easy this is. But if you can see here, like Katy Perry, 25, 34, 70% women. So I'd be doing like Katy Perry, I'd be doing Taylor Swift. You can see that what you'll always find is a famous person, their gender always attracts more of the same gender. So for instance, a male, you can see actually that, well, I mean, it's still more women than men, but you can see that most of it, when it's a male, you get more men, more men. Whereas when it's a woman, you get more women. When uh, unless have I gotten that wrong? That's weird. I don't know that one. I'm not right and all, but you can see that on a general basis, like 9 out of 10 times, Kesha, female, 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 male, male. So you get the idea. So this helps you with your targeting even more. So we're literally, that's why I just use this. And now I've got the average ages. So you can just narrow it down. So like, means that with Taylor Swift, why target anyone over the age of 30? Like maybe up to 44, right? But Taylor Swift does, we all know would have a younger demographic, don't we? Right? So you just keep it simple like that. And the reality is her songs are tailored to a younger millennial demographic. And then you look at someone like Martha Stewart, an older demographic, right? And then you can see that the demographic is also men to women. And so it just gives you a really strong sense of your targeting using this, where you can actually, just go into your ads manager and then optimize. So let's move on. Lookalike audiences, 1, 2, 3. All right, so now we've got lookalike audiences, and they're brands, lookalike audiences, you need to have existing data. So you don't use them in the beginning. You make custom audiences, and from those custom audiences, you make lookalike audiences. And the lookalike audiences is based off the custom audience. So the more specific, the more qualified the custom audience, the better the lookalike, right? So if you're going to choose people that had impressions on your ad and you make lookalikes, they're probably not going to be very good. Whereas if you choose ones that are around purchase, people that have purchased in the last 60 days, it's going to be a highly relevant audience, right? And so it goes 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. It's a bit confusing, but the more it is 1, the more aligned it is to custom audience. However, don't discount. I've always seen that even up to 10%, it does really, really well. So I test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as individual ad sets as you scale. I've found absolutely random results, and you will find that too. There's no, honestly, logic behind it, but it's important that you test that. So if I find 1% is doing well, I'll then go 0 to 2%. So you'll see, I'll show you in a moment, it has 0, but it defines it when it makes it as 1%. It's just a bit confusing. No other number has that. With, like, let's say 3% does well, then what I'll do is I'll do 2 to 4% because it includes 3 as the center one, but I'm expanding it a bit further. Sometimes I found that works well. I'm running an interest LLA that's purchased that is 4 to 6%, that's doing extremely well. You've got behavior-based interest, which is add to cart, landing page views, initiate checkouts, add payment info. Add payment info, you need a lot of pixel fires for that one, I find to work well. Engagement-based lookalikes, which is, are they commenting on your ads, liking your ads, sharing it? You can do all of that. And also video views as well. So you can do it on video views. And remember, it's important as you make these custom audiences, you can use these for retargeting as well as lookalikes, right? So make sure you define it very clearly, and we'll go into that now. I just want to sort of show you this. So I'm just in the audiences section within the Ads Manager, and all you need to do is create, you firstly need to create a custom audience. So whatever it looks like, as I said, you can do interest, like Instagram account, video, customer list. If you've got like an email list already of a number of leads, that works extremely well. But we'll just do like a website visit so I can make one and then show you the lookalike, right? So now I've just opened up a lookalike. Once you've made a custom audience, you can immediately make a lookalike. You choose the location. Now you don't need to narrow it down or anything here. You just leave it as the country. You do the narrowing in the ad set, right? Any narrowing. And you can see it's got 0 to 1, right? So it's a bit confusing, but it defines it as 1. What I do is I do 5. So I do 0 to 1. It'll define it as 1, as you can see here. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. And then if you want to make one that's a larger audience with multiple, you'll see that 5 to 8%. Create audiences, give it 2 hours, and there you've made lookalike audiences. Once you do, then you go back into the ad set. You'll see them there. Once you choose detailed targeting, you choose lookalikes, and it'll just have a list of all the lookalikes there, and you choose the relevant one. I recommend 1 lookalike per ad set to make sure that you're individually testing it. Again, keep it broad, the same as with interest, except this is honestly even better. So once you get to these, you have a lot of data that makes it a lot easier. Let's move to the next one. Number 3 is broad targeting, which is unrestricted targeting. This is only something that I recommend if you're doing a non-ASC full campaign, when you're scaling, right? So as you saw from the previous ones, it's pretty much the exact same. You literally don't put in anything, right? You let Facebook do the work. It will over time automatically, if you don't change the age, gender, all of that, it'll automatically start targeting the right age, gender, location anyway. It just knows. However, I strongly recommend when you're scaling and you're using broad interest, still, if you know your age and gender, use value rules or use your ad set demographics and narrow it down. If your audience is 18 to 44, why have it above 45 and above, right? Makes no sense. For retargeting, you have it there because retargeting is you will get referral traffic and stuff, and retargeting you want to have it there. But for cold traffic, where it's always your biggest cost, you always want to leave that narrow down as much as possible. So broad interest, literally do nothing. And that leads us to the next one, which is basically much the same thing, but it's advantage plus targeting. So it's the most advanced campaign structure designed to fully leverage its machine learning. It removes all manual targeting options, no interest, no lookalikes, and lets the algorithm. So it basically is the same as broad. So I wanted to add both because you can do both, and so I think they're both still relevant. But the what I recommend is letting it do its thing, and then if it's working, I would still actually duplicate and also add in some interest as well. Give it some further context as well. Split test both. You really won't know until you test it. But let's go and I'll just show you how to set one up now. So I'm just back in the ads manager again, and I already have this campaign. Now, again, by default now, when you make a campaign, it used to give you the option of a manual setup, especially for ecom, but now it'll just make it. And you can see you no longer need to choose the setup. Now called Advantage Plus, manual options are still available. But they're really trying to make it so it's as automated as possible, and it is pretty cool, right? It is pretty cool. So you go into your ad set, and literally you'll see that it's just recommending everything. You literally do nothing. This is where before what I did when I wanted to use broad interest targeting is I want to further extend the reach, or you can suggest an audience, right? So if you want to suggest an audience, Taylor Swift, again, you want to choose super broad. And again, obviously, location I would change to United States. It always defaults to the country that you set the ad account time zone in. It's just sort of how it does it. And there we go. So it's narrowed that down quite a lot. And again, because of what I've seen with Taylor Swift, I'm actually going to go 18 to, I feel 44, right? 34 is the right one, but I'm going to give it a little bit of leeway. And you can see that I've taken out millions of people already. So you can see it has an old demographic, but most of it, and I'm pretty sure we saw that it was mostly women. And so if I wanted to as well do that, I would do it because we could see a split. I think it was 70-30. I would create a value rule that says I want at least 30% more of my budget collectively spent to women. So a value rule basically allows you to say with your demographics, where do you want, if you're targeting both men and women, I still want to spend more towards women, because you might still want to leave men in there, but you want to just make sure that collectively the budget is pushed there. So that's just sort of how you can do some more advanced targeting, and using sort of ChatGPT, you pretty much get all of that. And that only took a few minutes. So if you use that free ChatGPT, it saves you a lot of time there as well. So my recommendation when it comes to Advantage Plus is to split test it, where you do it with no suggestions. Or I still always like the perspective of one thing that I've always found is that AI and everything is amazing, but everything still needs a bit of context, right? Like nothing can read your mind. As amazing as this is, I still always recommend giving something a little bit of a framework, right? But if we took that out, I'm curious to see. There we go, 15 million people that it thinks would be worth for what trying to do here. So again, sort of up to you. At minimum, you want to try and aim for 2 million audience and beyond. Really, there is no limit nowadays, especially thanks to the AI. It really has changed the landscape massively. Um, but that's why I chose United. I was wondering why it's small. No, I confused myself. United States. Why do they have such similar names? All right, so let's put Taylor Swift in. There we go. That's much better. I was wondering why it felt so small. So if we remove, yeah. So if we, I'm curious, right? We should see It has nearly doubled. So there is quite a sizable older demographic as well. But collectively, from what the GPT says, it says that it's a younger demographic. We can see 50%. So, we're targeting, and, you can see how much of the audience is if you're really interested as well. You can see about half of that is, as I thought, up to 44 as well. So anyway, I just wanted to sort of add that in. So the real target I always want to say as well, as just a little bonus thing, is a creative, right? So it's very important that you focus very much on the creative. The targeting is not that important. As you can see, it's not hard. It just takes 5 minutes work, honestly. And so one, always focus on the creative, focus on the pain points. If you can turn any product into something that helps someone's life in some regard, whatever it looks like, it could be a t-shirt that makes them feel comfortable or some movement that they're really all for. Make a video and find that those, it's just we're in the day and age of video and mobile video content. So very much focus on that. There's plenty of AI tools. I've got videos coming up on more AI video tools, and I'm planning to build one as well so that I can do this at scale as well. And I'll be teaching more about that as well. So I plan to be building these tools. I use the tools, and then I also build the teams around it. And I plan to just sort of teach it all, and then just grow ecom brands and just give as much value as possible. As a little tip, if you're launching a new ad account, don't waste money testing interest in lookalikes, especially lookalikes. Invest your budget in a strong creative, right? So the interest really shouldn't take much time. Just focus a lot on the creative. The creative is king, will always be king. All right. So I just wanted to sort of add that in. Have some links down there if you're interested in terms of boosting your conversion rates. There's Debutify theme, Debutify reviews for reviews. I would love for you to follow me on my socials as well. I'm posting a lot of short form content to help everyone as well. Other than that, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching today. Have a lovely day. Take care and goodbye.